So midweek prep for Vanderbilt, challenging opponent. They've not played in, I guess, about 3 weeks when we play, and not as much film as other teams on them. These guys are dangerous. They played A&M extremely well. One score game and right there in it, and shut them down a lot of the games. So, we're trying to get to 1-0. Doesn't matter who the opponent, where it is, whatever. We've got to improve. We've got to play better and finish games off.
Question for Coach. Start us off, Nick.
Lane, there's no indication you've heard that Vanderbilt's going to have COVID issues this week. You expect the game to be played, correct?
Yeah, I have not heard anything like that at all.
Go ahead, Parrish.
Lane, have you had any COVID cases pop up that could put the game in jeopardy on your end?
We have not. We actually yesterday we had no negatives, or positives, whichever way you phrase it.
Are you concerned that your guys could look at Vanderbilt's last two scores from when they did play and overlook them at all?
Yeah, very concerned. With a team that you're in a first year and you haven't, been through a season with them. We talk about it so that they understand. Every week is new. Look at our season. And so, you got to play regardless of who you play, but especially in the SEC, everybody's got really good players and really good coaches.
Go back to Nick.
From what you saw in that Vanderbilt game against A&M, what did their defense do to shut down that offense, and kind of what changed against LSU and Carolina?
Well, the turnovers. I also think these guys, between injury and COVID, lost some players and some depth. It sounds like in the next two games, and so I'm sure that was part of the difference in the scores. So the game is not that complicated. If you turn the ball over, and on defense you tackle really well and keep the ball in front of you, you're gonna beat a lot of games.
Go ahead, David.
Lane, throughout the course of your career, have you ever had any matchups with Derek Mason? Did you know him, relationship with him, or anything like that?
I don't recall exactly. I'm pretty sure he was at Stanford when we were there, but I don't remember. As assistants, you don't know everybody and everything, and so I don't remember exactly. I have met him, and I have really good respect for him.
Any other questions for Coach? Go ahead, Neil.
Lane, I was wondering how many pennies have showed up at the building over the course of this week.
I was waiting for that, Neil. You guys took a long time to get to that. You guys are getting soft. Because that's really the only question you cared about. You really didn't care about the other ones. I've had a lot of offer for pennies. Had some offer, from my son for some math education, also some tutoring. I would like to say that I did know that all along. I was just setting it up for more attention when I got to the replay part. So, just like the video at FAU, when the no energy video, and I did that on purpose just so we could get more publicity, and so I would assume we're kind of the most talked about 1-4 team, and people forgot we're 1-4, so maybe it worked. But I did joke with the commissioner when he called me and told me about the fine. I said I was surprised that a retweet would get you a fine. It's not something I'm saying, and so we retweet things all the time, and I kind of joked with him. I said, well, if I'm getting fined, I got to do something, so not just a retweet. That's not very much fun. So, I had a little fun with him with the pennies. So, and it's behind us. I understand his position, so. I really thought it was okay. I really was retweeting not because of the comment. I was retweeting because the video with it showing so all the fans could see in case they hadn't seen, it hit in the hand. I'd gotten fined at Conference USA, much less money, by the way, but because I retweeted, the blind refs with the scene dogs after one of our games. Well, the commissioner, Judy, said, hey, you could have got away with the retweet, but you tagged at Conference USA officials or something. So I thought I was okay there, but I guess not.
Some of the players, I guess that was yesterday, said that they appreciated you doing that. It felt like you had their back, that kind of thing. What kind of feedback have you gotten from players about the fine and the tweets and stuff?
Well, they joke about it out there, you know, because that's a lot of money, but especially when you're a college kid, that's a ton of money, you know, so they kind of joke and they're mad at me like, you know, can you just share that with us, you know, save the retweet and help us out, you know, we can barely make dinner around here. So I don't know, I'd like to think the players think that, you know, we don't say things in the media because what we're supposed to, and you know what the media wants us to say, you know, we protect our players and back our players.
Go back to Parrish.
Obviously, Lane, the fine was announced Monday night, but I'm wondering if you heard anything else from the SEC about just the way you shared your frustration with us on Monday. I know you didn't specifically mention the conversation with the conference office, but you were pretty candid with us in your feelings.
Well, I had not gotten the call from the commissioner about the fine when I talked to you guys, so I thought I wasn't. You know, and I did say I thought that, you know, I wanted to say some things or repeat part of that conversation to you guys, and I didn't, you know, because of, you know, what they said of not repeating it. So he seemed to be good with what I said with you guys and understanding that, you know, I was frustrated, but that I didn't cross the line. So I think we're good.
Well, we appreciate you being candid, Lane. By the way, please continue.
Thank you. And if you can bring some pennies down, Parrish, that would help, because it's really easy to say that until you put your money where your mouth is.
Go back to David.
Hey, Lane, I'm not trying to debate you or anything, but college football is full of criticism. You guys as coaches get criticized, players get criticized, all very publicly. I mean, how is it fair that the officials are not subject to the same level of criticism that you guys are? They're an essential part of the game.
I don't know that. I think that was kind of my frustration about, you know, saying, hey, we can't say what they said, you know, like, but we've got to answer, you know, when we don't manage a game well, you know, or, you know, I probably should have used the timeout earlier. And so I got to answer those things, but I don't know. I guess we make a lot more money than they do. It'd probably be their excuse.